it's Rudy Mettia with Warrior Tips. Down here is Toby. I got her in this position because I'm the dominant dog. No, I got her in this position because she's in Sphinx. And if you see Sphinx, it's just like it sounds. And I want to look at Sphinx, Cobra, UpDog, because as we do our vinyasas, inhale Cobra, inhale UpDog, or maybe in this position, Sphinx, I want you to have all your options. So I'm gonna get down here with her if you don't mind. So the interesting thing about all three of these poses, well, two of the three, and we'll do those two first, is it has a beautiful curve of the spine. And if you saw it, well, if you see it from the side, it looks like one of those snakes in India, Cobra, right? King Cobra. Interestingly enough, we always talk about risk factors, or if we haven't, as remiss not to, but I'm gonna do it here to make sure. Repetition creates a habit, and a bad repetition creates a bad habit, which in turn will cause injury in whatever realm you want to think about. So what I want you to do is pay attention to the low back, a little bit about the shoulders maybe, and the chest muscles and all that stuff, but mostly I think the risk factor is low back. And one thing you can do to alleviate most of that is to keep your bottom, excuse me, I'm gonna grab her butt, is to keep your bottom soft. So it's not like you're squeezing your rear end and making a muscle, because as soon as you do that, the sacrum gets into a precarious place. So we're gonna keep the low back kind of mellow. And you reach back to the toes. So there's a tendency for your heels to flop in towards each other. That's like squeezing your bottom. Open your heels, softens the bottom, inner thighs roll up. So think about that for Sphinx and Cobra. In Sphinx necessarily, since we're here, you want the elbows a little bit in front of the shoulder joint. That way, the biceps are in front of the breastbone, and you can imagine trying to pull the breastbone. See that? She's trying to pull herself forward. The weight of her legs back here act as, for me, they act as Velcro. You push the tops of the feet with the toes untucked into the floor, that's Velcro down, and then you pull the spine forward. And I just imagine, remember imagination in yoga? I imagine the spine, the spaces between the spinal, the vertebra and the disc get widened. And it's a micro, I guess, but micro times 24, so a little bit of length in the back, right? And that's a beautiful expansion of the chest, and it's a beautiful curve of the spine. So that's Sphinx. And it's not much different from Cobra. It's gonna look the same way as Cobra. So she's gonna come down and rest her back muscles for a moment, just for a second. And when she does that, she's gonna put her thumbs right by her breast line, which is different from the hands for upward facing dog. So in Cobra, the thumbs are right in line with the breast line. The elbows point back, and see how you're almost parallel with the triceps, and you're almost vertical with the forearms, but you have a little diagonal in Cobra because the hands are by the chest. When we come back to UpDog, these arms will be vertical, these lower arm bones. She almost is there anyway. So press up into a Cobra that's not quite UpDog, but not quite Sphinx. Now she has a tendency to want to pull her throat forward, so she's going to extend to the crown of the head. You'll find a lot of people drop your head all the way back, but be careful. They do that. That's not good. It looks like it's good, but it's a fake back bend. It's a compression of the neck. So you want to extend through the crown of the head. Good. You want a long, elegant neck like a swan. Come back down. So show them Sphinx. Same thing here. Everything from here stays the same. Sphinx. That's a good modification for Cobra. We do so many Cobras. It'll take you a little more time because you're gonna walk the arms out in front of you. Likewise, Cobra. Thumbs in line with the breast line. Still soft through here, extending back. Lift the heart. Jalabandha. Forehead to floor. Now, the more advanced version, now the thumbs slide back to where the forearm bones are parallel. They're back short ribs, I would think. This time, watch. She's gonna come up into Cobra, but then the hips come off the floor. See that? No space. Shin comes off the floor, knees off the floor. Only thing on the floor is the top of her untucked feet and her palms. And she pulls her shoulders back and she tries to draw the heart forward. You're still looking for that little bit of a pelvic thing where the tailbone reaches for the heels. So I'm not just compressing into the low back. I'm rounding and expressing the heart open. Big inhale. Now roll over the toes in downward facing dog, or use the knees and press back. Oh, doesn't it feel good? So there's your difference. Here's what she's gonna do. She's gonna do one flow of Cobra and one flow of UpDog. Off you go, chop. Inhale Cobra, or inhale plank. Lower down all the way. This one is Cobra. Inhale, roll over your toes, downward facing dog. Now I'm going to ask her, usually when you do up dog, you jump to chaturanga and you roll through that into up dog. And my style, and it's not the most classical version of this, but the way I have found to do it is I'll still lower to my belly and I'll turn it from Cobra kind of into up dog, but it's really an up dog minus the chaturanga. And when you hover in chaturanga and then you roll those shoulders back, for me, it's a meat grinder for my shoulders, not for her, not for Shauna, not for Jeffrey and some of these guys will bring up here. For me, it is. So if you're in my boat, you're gonna do this. Inhale to plank, lower to your belly, roll it through and up to up dog. She adjusted the hands and she pulled it back to up dog. Can you do the chaturanga? Mm-hmm. Downward facing dog. Oh, she's all cocky. Mm-hmm. She's gonna do the more technical and I think precarious, but yet more classical version. She's gonna come to plank. She's gonna lower to chaturanga, which is about 2 inches from the floor. She's gonna roll through to up dog and down dog. She's gonna drop to her knees and take a little rest here with me. Now I gave you all the options. I hope I didn't confuse it. I would encourage you to always do the high plank, that's upper push-up, to low plank, which is on your belly, to Cobra, which isn't as easy as Sphinx, but isn't as complex as up dog. And then again, once you get good at this, you start going, I got this jumping back thing that Shauna had. I got this jumping forward thing. I got jumping to chaturanga, transition to up dog. Do that one, all right? I just want you to be empowered, but I want to give you all the options. This is a little bit of a long tip segment, but I think if you sit and watch it and sit with it for a moment and start exploring it, you'll find what's best for you. What's best for you on those, seriously?
I like to start off with Cobra and then work my way up to
I do too. In the A's, I do Cobra. In the B's, I do up dog. You'll find it. Experience. Thank you, everybody.